So our last for this section, section 4 on factoring, our last practice, how to. So if you didn't get these results and you want to see how they're done, or if you're completely confused and lost and you want to see some more examples, here's where we're going to do it. I showed in the original lesson or in the original video 2 different methods. One that involved a rainbow, the rainbow method we'll call it, and one that was called the AC method. I'm going to do one in each style here just to show them both again. So the first one here, I'm going to do the rainbow method, and I'm going to show how that one's done, and then I'll do the AC method for the second one. The rainbow method, we ignore the middle term here. We ignore B, what it's called. We got A, B, and C. We ignore the middle term, and we just look at the first and the last terms. And what we want to know is what are 2 numbers that multiply to 12 and 2 numbers that multiply to 12 in this case. And I'm doing this, yep. So for 12, I guess we would have 3 and 4. And for 12, again, 4 and 3. And you know what, just for funsies, I'm going to put 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 to start with here. Let's go 3, 4, 3, 4. So I'm going to change my mind on the first row here. If we do the rainbow then, do 4 times 3 and 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. If I add those together, I'm hoping that matches with 25. It doesn't. So 3, 4, 3, 4 did not work for this method, which means I have to rearrange things a little bit. And this is where I'm going to go then back to this 4, 3. So if I just flip these numbers around, now I try the rainbow. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. When I add those together, now I get the 25 that I'm looking for. So those are the right numbers, and they're in the right order. So that is one of the downfalls of this method, is that you could have the right numbers in the wrong order. Once you have the right numbers and they're in the right order, we can create our factors. First number comes straight down, 3a. We crisscross in the middle, 3a plus 4. And we get then 4a. And the last number comes straight down, 4a plus 3. So 3a plus 4, 4a plus 3, those are our 2 factors, and that is the solution using this rainbow method. The second problem, for this one I'll do the AC method for. We got 25y squared minus 25 plus 6. So if we do the AC method, we're multiplying the first and the last terms together. And again, there's no mathematics here or no reasoning for it. This is just how you do it. And 6 times 24 should give me 144. And I'm going to look at that middle term, which is negative 25 in this case. That is one thing to be careful of, is those minuses, subtractions are like a negative 25. So now we want to find 2 numbers that multiply to 144, but also add to negative 25. I have a little bit of a head start on this because I just did that last problem, in that I know that 9 times 16 is 144, and 9 times 16, but they're not going to add a negative 25. So let's try a negative 9 and a negative 16. Negative 9 times negative 16 is 144, because a negative times a negative is positive. And now I know that negative 9 plus negative 16 is negative 25. The next step then, if you're using this method, once you have the numbers, is we have to rewrite this middle term, to rewrite this original problem as 24y squared. And then instead of negative 25y or minus 25y, I'm going to do minus 16y minus 9y plus 6, because minus 16 minus 9 does give me that negative 25. Now I need to see what I can factor. And for this, again, I'm looking at the first half, just the first 2 terms, 24y squared and 16y. And I'm saying, what can I factor out of both of those 2 terms? I can divide them both by 4, and actually I can take a y out of both of them. So I'm going to scratch that out, 4y, because they both have at least one y in common. I'm left with then 24 divided by 4 is going to give me 6. And, oh, can I divide more? I could. You know what? Wow, I pull out a 4 here. I can pull out an 8. I did not find the greatest common factor. Look at that. 8y. Divide the 24 by 8, and I get 3y. Divide the 16 by 8, I get 2. So 3y minus 2. Now I look at the second set. I got this minus 9y plus 6. Now remember, I want to get a 3y minus 2 over here to match up with this, if I do this factoring by grouping idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull out, instead of just dividing both of these by 3, I'm going to divide them both by negative 3. The reason I'm going to do that is because negative 9 divided by negative 3 is going to give me a positive 3y. I need that positive 3y to match up here. And a positive 6, a plus 6, divided by that negative 3, factoring out the negative 3, I'm going to get a negative or a minus 2. So that minus 3 times 3 is going to give me a minus 9. Minus 3 times minus 2 is going to give me a positive 6. So that's one of the downfalls of this factoring by grouping, is you have to be very careful of how you get these two factors here. Now I'm going to factor out the common term between these two, which is 3y minus 2. And what I'm left with then is 8y minus 3. I will say, in my opinion, neither of those methods are perfect. They both have issues. They're both very complex, lots of different steps, and a little bit of guess and check and all sorts of stuff. It's definitely not as easy as the first half of the problems where the coefficient, the leading coefficient is 1. But these are the methods that we have. Pick one, whichever one makes the most sense to you, whichever one is the least complicated for you, and keep doing some practice problems with that.